Happy New Year and welcome to the pre-commencement briefing of our new club, the Professional Pathfinders Club. This year carries a lot of promise, and we have to, as an individual and as a club, strategically position ourselves for the great things to come this year. We would move on to the last session of, let me just share the agenda again. All right, so we are done with the introduction and overview of the official networking platform. The last area of discussion is the open forums. If there are any questions with regards to all that has been discussed, you have an opportunity to ask now. So if you want to ask a question, you can just unmute yourself and then ask your questions, and I'll try to explain or answer to my best understanding. All right, Samuel, I can see your hand up. You can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Samuel.
And to everyone. Yeah. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I wanted to know how we can invite our friends to join. Is there a way we can invite them to join this platform?
So remember, I mentioned that the ClubNet platform is actually an exclusive opportunity for only club members. It's an exclusive access to only club members. If there is anyone who wants to be part of this platform, they would unfortunately have to join the club first. Once they join the club, we would go ahead to create their accounts, which will be shared with them, and then they'll be able to access the platform. So unfortunately, some at the moment, no. But if there is anyone who is interested, let them know that they can join the club. Once they join the club, the account will be created for them.
Yeah, it was actually the club I was referring to, how they can join the club.
The same process. I'm sure somewhere you remember in joining the club, you contacted me. Okay, so let them contact me. Just share my details with them. Let them contact me, and then they join the club. I do not want to make it in such that we have scammers taking advantage of people. So let it be one source of contact. Let them contact me. You share my contacts with them. They come and I engage with them, and then we get it done. I hope this answers your question.
All right.
Yes, please. Please mute yourself for me. Now, Elvis, can you please go ahead? Just unmute yourself.
Yeah, please, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening to all. Please, early on with your submission, you were very clear about we not paying for training.
Please, can you speak up? I'm struggling to hear you.
Is it clear now, please?
Yes, better.
Early on with your submission, you were very clear that we are not going to pay for some of the training of training of some of the courses for this particular semester.
Yeah.
But I was wondering if we were going to pay for the certification of the training, as in with the issuance of the certificates for the members that are going to participate in the training. Are you going to pay for certification?
Okay.
That is my first question.
Okay.
And my second one is there going to be an event where members of the club will get the opportunity to take on leadership roles, as in vie for positions for the club? And then my last one, when you were making your, I think at the latter part of the submission about ClubNet, you were talking about we putting on job adverts on ClubNet so that members of the club can be the first to see and then apply. Since sometimes some rules or some job vacancies requires just a person to be employed, but sometimes about 1,000 people apply for that particular role. So I wanted to know, to ask if it is very good for applicants for a particular job vacancy to apply very early after the job has been advertised, or we can wait until we prepare our documents at a later time and then submit our application? Or is it good in a way to submit the applications for those particular roles earlier than times where we feel our documents are fully prepared? Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Please hold on, just to ensure that I got all the questions for your first. The last one had to do with the time to apply for jobs. The second one had to do with paying for certifications, right? What was the third one?
The third one was, I was asking that would there be an event where members of the club will be given the chance to take on leadership roles or positions?
Okay, right. Thank you. All right, so I'll respond to the last one, which was, is it good to apply for jobs early? Just to let you know, okay, it is important that you are always ready. Your CV shouldn't be updated only when you see a job advert. And anyone who knows me, those that have engaged, even when you come for your internship and I engage with you, I always tell you, write your CV. Update your CV even as you go through your internship. Obviously, you're not going to apply for roles when you are having your internship because you're still in school, but make sure you have your CV updated. When you've updated your CVs and there is a role and there is a need for you to tailor the CV, it shouldn't take you more than 2 days. Maximum 3 days, you should be ready to apply for these roles. And mostly, these job adverts that are published will have a duration of between 2 to 4 weeks to end. If you're able to apply within the first week, you can be rest assured that you'll be within the first pile of reviews. However, anything going within the second week or the last and third weeks of the job advertisements, the chances are, unless they are not getting very good applicants, you might not be called. So it is important to make sure that you get your documents ready, awaiting the job opportunities. In the course of our trainings, I would actually find time to also take you through these interview preparations and job search preparations training, such that you would understand how to go about all of this. My book will be published by next month, and I'm sure I'll share with club members, so they will have access to some of these tips and some of these information on how to go about them. But it is important to apply early. That is the basic principle. Apply early because reviews will normally start from the third to fourth day, because normally they will wait for some opening for people to apply and then they start the reviews. But you can be rest assured that within the first week, reviews or screening of applicants will begin. So if you're able to do all of this within the first week, then that is good for you. But I'll be glad if you're able to do it within the first 3 days. So that is to the last question. The second question, which had to do with paying for certifications. For this particular planned programs for this semester, you'll not be paying for the certifications. As I mentioned, we've actually paid the institutions. So the certificates will be awarded at no cost. And for the communication, like I said, there will be no certifications because I don't think it's even necessary. But the Excel is necessary because that is the only way you're able to show an employer that, yes, you know how to use these skills. And because of the way we are going to do it, you realize that even in coming semesters, even though we might not be going through the Excel training, we'll be going through other tailored trainings that would employ the use of Excel. So you do not lose the skill, so that you're always using the skill as to when needed within the corporate world, you'll be able to employ those particular skills. So that is what we'll be doing. With regards to leadership, but on the certifications, a typical one that you might pay for the certification, in fact, is the PMI. The PMI is a globally recognized certification. Remember, I said for Anglo Gold Ashanti, we are running this PMI certification for our employees. Now we paid 7,000 Ghana cedis per each employee separately from the certification cost. Now the training cost is coming at 7,000 Ghana cedis, but the certification cost, once the employees are done with the training, they have to register globally through the accredited institution in Ghana, and the accredited institution in Ghana is the Training Heights. So they will register through the accredited institution, but globally, to participate in the global exams. And it's not going to be an exam that is organized for Ghanaians to go and sit in. It's just like writing a GRE. You would go and sit behind the PC and write the certification exams. So when we do the PMI certificate training program for our members would be scheduled to go and write that certification exams. And once they pass the certification exams, they'll be awarded from the global institution having that certificate. And trust me, I'm yet to see anyone who was able to obtain that certificate right from school. If you get this, you have a plus already, because it means you have a greater hand on project management, which even opens a lot more doors, a huge sum of opportunities for you to explore as part of your program of study. With regards to taking up leadership roles, because this is not being run like a normal club, instead of leadership, we will be having support groups on campus to support us with some of the activities that we'll be performing. However, there is the need to have at least 2 key areas within the financial aspect, and then a vice president to sustain the operations of the club in the absence of any of us in running the club. Like I said, the reason why I didn't want to do that again was because in the last club, we had so many club leaderships, but we didn't really feel their essence. And we realized that we were basically handling almost everything ourselves. And in as much as they try to put, you cannot blame them, you cannot falter them, because it is not like the normal clubs that is being run. We'll have cohorts within the chapters that we find ourselves in that will be embarking on several activities, and that is why I call it groups. So it will not be like a group with a leader, but then a group working as a team to achieve a particular aim. So for instance, for sponsorships, when the program is coming up, we'll start seeking for sponsorships. We'll have a team that will be going through that and managing that for us and all that. But in terms of leadership or hierarchical appointments of people into specific roles, we will not be having that.
Okay, thank you very much for the clarification. I am grateful.
Thank you. All right. I can't see any hand raised. It means we have no more questions. So, okay, there is one. Bernard, have you raised your hand again?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
And good evening to everyone. Okay, please, I want to ask some few questions. The certification programs.
Yeah.
You see, sometimes when you are applying for these online courses, they sometimes give an offer that you can learn it at your own pace. So I want to ask, with this professional body we are part and we'll be supervised by mentors, will it be like we'll be learning with targets, like maybe this week everyone should be at this point, this week everyone should be at this point? That's the first question. And
okay,
the second question is, assuming based on one's research, although the mentors are requesting some important and professional courses for us, assuming based on someone's passions, want to gain knowledge in and essentially certificate in other areas too, can a person request it, and would there be any guide as to how the person can get those courses? Thank you.
You're welcome. Hold on. Okay, I want to respond to your last question first. With regards to mentors recommending specific programs, they will not mandatorily recommend that you undertake any program, because when you look at our mentorship program, we've not shared it with you, so you have no idea how it is, but it's already planned. It is to guide you in achieving your potential, and in achieving your potential, they will be guiding you on specific activities, not necessarily training. They will tell you it will be good you venture into this, it will be good you venture into that. Doesn't mean go and do this and go and do that, because in truth, the club has a vision. And every program that we assign to our members has a strategic intent. The strategic intent is geared towards your professional development or your career development and growth. Now, when you look at what we've done this particular semester, we've given you a tool that whoever you are, even if you're a nurse, a doctor, an agriculturalist, an engineer, you would still use, because you have no choice. That is what is used globally in the corporate world. Now, we are also giving you the communication skills. Whoever you are, no matter what and where you find yourself, if you're a shy person trust me, it will not give you an excuse at the corporate world. You need to speak up. You need to be able to communicate properly. So we have a vision for every semester. We have a target that we want to achieve and ensure that our club members are walking the path to this vision. So if a mentor gives you advice, it is not mandatory, but it's an advice for you to look up to, something that you can do in the near future. You can also share, and trust me, in mentorship engagement, this mentorship engagement will not be like somebody coming to speak to you throughout. They give you the opportunity to share your experiences, your ambitions, your aspirations, and based on that, they speak to you towards that line. So it will be very interactive, and you have the opportunity to actually say some of your interests, and you'll be guided. If, for instance, I find myself with a Bachelor of Science degree in mathematics. However, I find myself working in a field of human resources. And then tomorrow I tell my mentor that I read mathematics, so I want to go and read financial mathematics. Meanwhile, I've been working for the past 6 years in HR. I do not have any qualifications in HR. Yet I'm speaking to my mentor. My mentor tells me, and I tell my mentor that I still want to further my education in financial mathematics. At my level, 6 years experience in HR, going to further my experience in financial mathematics will not be prudent at that very moment. Rather, it will be good for me to obtain a certification or a qualification in HR that I can use to support my experience in HR, so that if an opportunity comes within HR, I'll be able to apply. Because if you do not have the minimum requirements, which is the minimum qualification, we normally look at the minimum qualification before the number of years of experience. If you do not have the minimum qualifications, there is no way your experience that you've gathered over the years will be relevant unless you are being pushed and the person knows you. So the mentor would obviously advise you to ensure that you get the relevant certifications to support your experience, after which you can go ahead and do what you want to do. That is an interest and a future endeavor. But for now, make sure you have what it takes to be able to survive for this very moment. So it wouldn't be something mandatory that will be posted on you, but it's an advice. As to whether you take it, it falls on you. Are we going to be learning based on a schedule? Yes. Remember that when I was making my points, I said 1 month program. So I said Excel is for 1 month, and then the communication skills training is for 3 weeks. So you realize that it's even guided. It's actually time bound. If you do not complete it within the section, you'll not be able. If you do not complete a section, you'll not be able to move to the next section. And because it's time bound, you have a longer duration to complete it, but it's up to you to make sure you complete it. If you do not complete it, you will not be awarded the certification. I think I forgot to indicate to you that the certifications that you'll be obtaining, first of all, you have to successfully complete the course and pass. If you complete the course and you fail, you don't get a certification. So you have to make sure you actively perform the task and the assignments and then the final assessment to pass. Now, once you've passed and you are awarded a certification, it will not be issued to you through the system. This will be posted to us by the institution, awarding institution. And once we receive it, it will form part of our tertiary corporate engagement program we'll be having on 30th November. So, 30th March. So on that day, we'll issue out these certifications to the various members that receive these certificates. I don't know if this answers your question, Bernard. Okay, Samuel, your hand is up again.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. There are some questions at the chat box.
Oh, okay. You want to bombard me? You don't want us to go home and sleep. Who directed me to the questions on the chat box? Hello?
Yes, I think
Jobs, can you please let Samuel submit his question? Once he's done, kindly take me through the questions one after the other, and then I'll respond to them, okay? Okay, Samuel, you can go ahead.
I was just notifying that there's a question in the chat box.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay, then Samuel. So just read them to me one after the other, then I'll respond to them.
So he wanted to ask, you have a question about the dues concerning those who are not students. That you made mention of students not paying when they are on vacation. What about those who are not students, like workers?
Jobs, I did mention that because we will not be conducting or undertaking any activity during the vacations, because in most cases we'll be using the vacations for our internship opportunities. We'll be seeking for internships during the semester, and then the ones that will be able to, based on the slots that with the number of slots that we have, and the very specific fields of specialization, we will nominate the members to participate in these internship opportunities. However, you can trust that we'll make sure that as much as possible within an academic year, everyone gets an opportunity to go through an internship. If not, the subsequent years we'll be able to appoint, but always we will give priority to those almost completing who have not undergone any internship whilst in school, to get opportunity to go for these internships, and then the others will follow suit. So because we'll be using this for some of these programs, we will not be taking dues during the vacation. But when we are coming to have the boot camp, if we have the financial footing to be able to support the financial requirements for a boot camp, we will do that, and people would have to pay or contribute to some extent to be able to support the boot camp process. So, Jobs, if that answers your question, there will be no dues payments once you're on vacation.
Okay,
what's the next question?
Gordon needs the recording for the whole program after the meeting.
Right, that's fine. This will be published on YouTube and be posted on the ClubNet platform for members to gain access to. So don't worry, it will be posted.
And Benjamin Opon J2 want you to decentralize the center for meetings, since some of us might not be on KNUST campus.
No, so the meetings, like I said, will not be having a lot of face-to-face meetings. In-person meetings will be minimized. We'll be having more activities-based kind of meeting. So if it's an online training, it will be online. If it's an online meeting like this, it will be online. Because we don't have the numbers, we cannot be having events on campuses. So we can't say KNUST, we can't say UMAT or Boise or Kumasi. Nope, we would have this kind of engagement online. However, when we have to have an in-person event, we would make a decision based on the number of members we have for a particular campus. It only makes sense that if we have more than half of our members in KNUST, Kumasi, then it makes sense that we have the events there, because if all the other campuses choose not to come, we still have the greater number from Kumasi coming, than going to have it in the school where we have just a limited number, and then those from the school, the school with the highest number choose not to come, and then it affects the event. So yes, we will not be having a lot of in-person. We will definitely I'm planning to have a session with all campuses, specifically the 3 main campuses. We have a few of us from UNER, I think one from Legon. We've not started with these universities. The main focus was on the 3 universities. However, when the request for them to join came, I didn't push it down because we needed them. So I asked them to join. And obviously, when you look at how this is structured, they'll still benefit from it. So we would extend this to the other universities and hopefully see the numbers. We'll be able to see how best we'll be having our in-person meetings. But for now, most of our meetings, we wouldn't be having most meetings because we'll be having the discussions and notice shared on the ClubNet platform and then our various groups on Telegram. However, if we have to have an event, it will happen at one of the schools. So when it comes to that, you would have to join at least. For this semester, I know it will happen in one of the schools, and members from other institutions would have to come, and then we make it a live one. However, we'll put in necessary arrangements to ensure that we accommodate them. I'll be forming a team within the membership group to place them in specific teams where they'll be working on specific assignments. And when you are called upon, I would entreat that you make yourself available to support, so that you also gain the experience in some of these engagements. Samuel, I think that is all right.
Yes, please.
Okay, I can see, is it Demakbo? Your hand is up. Can you please go ahead with the question?
Yes, please. Sir, please. I missed out dues. Is listed the monthly dues?
Yes, we said 50 Ghana cedis per month, and it's only when you are on campus. You will not be paying dues when you're on vacation.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
And
Sir, please, there's another question.
How would the payment be done?
So I'm actually trying to
Please,
create
how would the payment be done?
Currently, you sent it to the Smith Tips Company Limited mobile money account, but I'm trying to create a checkout on the ClubNet platform where you used to do your checkouts on a monthly basis.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, Mariam, I can see your hand up.
Yeah, good evening, sir. I had a question.
Sure.
So you mentioned that the activities are going to be undertaken during the semester, right?
Yep.
But then here's the case where sometimes, while some schools are in session, others are home. So in such instances, do you have what we'll do? Let's say, is it going to be majority based, or how is it going to be done?
Okay, thank you, Mariam. You remember I mentioned that, for instance, for this semester, the planned activities are actually online based. We are using the learning management systems of the companies I mentioned. If we are even to use ICMS, who will be handling the safety trainings, will also be done online. It's only the graduation that is done in person, and I think the graduations are normally done almost to the vacation, and also when you're almost done with school. But there is a scheduled time for the graduations where you go for the specific certifications. But in terms of the trainings, most of them will be online based, and where there is an in-person training, we will agree on, as a team, we will discuss and agree on where to have the specific in-person training. I'm hopeful that most of these trainings will be online, and then the boot camps will be having the in-person trainings. And because I mentioned that most tertiary institutions normally have the long vac within the same calendar break. So if that is the case, we'll be using the long vac for our boot camps, where most of these in-person trainings will take place, and then also these specific industry related software related trainings will be happening. So it's not something that you cannot do wherever you are. If you're on vacation, you should be able to access them, because it's not restricted to a particular shared drive. It is on the internet for you to be able to use, and in the same way, when you are in school, you'll be able to use. The most important thing is we've done it in a way that is spread within a period, so that you work at your pace and at your time to complete it within the period, but you must ensure that you complete it within the provided period. You must not do it outside that period, because when you do it outside the period, it means you will not be able to gain access to it. And what it means is you wouldn't have gained from it, and you would have lost an opportunity to gain a certificate. Mariam, I hope this answers your question.
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay. All right. I don't see any hands anymore. It means we are all good. If we are all good, I want to thank you all for the opportunity for coming. There is one more request I would want to make of you. See this as an opportunity for yourself, not for anyone else. And as mentioned in our last engagement, we need the numbers to be able to achieve some of the targets that we have. I've not been able to bring on board too many activities, necessarily because we want to ensure that we operate within our means, and we give quality to whatever we are doing. When you are taking the course that will be assigned to you on the learning management system job, I'm sure you would come back and tell me of the quality of training materials that you'll be exposed to, and how it has positively impacted on your personal growth. We want to make sure that there's quality in what we give, and for that reason, if it means us going for just one course and based on the cost of the course, because of the funds that we have, then we'll do that. But in as much as possible, the first years will definitely benefit more than the final years. So we want to ensure that the final years are also exposed to so much training materials that when they go out carrying our name on their shoulders, they'll have the opportunity to exhibit what they've learned so much from the club. And I would entreat that when you graduate, you still remain with us and participate in some of the training programs that you'll be exposed to. So my play this, please share this with your friends and get them to also register and let them come on board. Let's build this together. Let's build it as a community that we can be bold of and we can be proud of and boldly stand anywhere to talk about. So I entreat you to set targets for yourself. If you want to bring 10 people or 20 people for this semester or for this month, if you can do that, that is good. Based on the comings, we will look at the point creating a link where people can actually share the links with people to use that to register. And once they register, we will have some special treats for people who were able to recommend their platform to others to make this a success. So that is my final plea to all of us. And it is important that if at any point in time you have any questions or you want to have any engagement, please, you can easily call on me or anyone on the platform to at least be able to get a response to your question. And also, my final advice is make sure you use the ClubNet, post updates, engage people. One other thing I realize is that people are following those that they know from their universities. And I keep asking myself, if I know you and I'm coming to follow you and you're the only person that I'll be engaging with, then what is the need and essence of networking? And it means I do not even find any privilege or opportunity to gain anything from the platform. So stop following just those that you know, but as much as possible, follow everyone that you feel comfortable to follow. If possible, follow everyone else. I try to follow those that at least engage with my platform. So you realize that if you've engaged with my post, I go ahead to follow you instantly because I want to make sure that I see your post as well to also be able to contribute to it. So let's do this. Let's contribute. Let's remain active. Let's form friends. And don't always be thinking evil about others. Always know that you have an opportunity to find the best out of people. So all the best. Prepare yourselves for a semester of growth, discovery, and unparalleled opportunity. Let's make the most of the path that lies ahead of us. Thank you. Enjoy your evening. Until we meet again. We'll have the subsequent conversations in the group and the ClubNet platforms. Have a nice evening.
Have a nice evening, sir. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.